Hello. Okay. So it has been a crazy couple of weeks. This is actually the first time I have filmed in 2 weeks. Although you guys got a video last week. I actually had filmed that almost 3 weeks ago, the night before my live stream, in the hopes to play it in the following week, but everything kind of went to shit. For those of you who did see my live stream, I was pretty swollen and not feeling too great. It had been going on for about a week and a half. And essentially, anytime I ate anything, I went into excruciating pain. Worst, almost the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. I would say it was comparable to childbirth, and this one might be the winner. So at this point, I had already consulted Dr. Google. He's my primary care physician. And Dr. Google introduced me to a term I had never heard, but is essentially a stone that forms and clogs your salivary, your glands. I had never heard of this before in my life. They basically described it in the same way as a kidney stone obstructs the flow of urine. This calcification stone obstructs saliva. Which explains why every time I took a bite of anything I liked, my face exploded and my pain scale went. So, needless to say, I went to the urgent care and she looked at me and she poked at me and she prodded at me. I told her what I thought it was. She said no. So I went and had a very quick ultrasound. That was it. Confirmed. Dr. Google was correct. It is in fact a stone literally clogging my gland and not allowing saliva to escape. Freaking disgusting. The fix, lots of water, which I already do, and sucking on sour candy to really get your saliva flowing to push the stone out. And of course, massages and heating pads. Of course, I told my husband they meant this kind of massage. He's like, yeah. Of course, my kids had already heard of this and suggested, why don't you take it out yourself? What do you mean? And then they showed me this, and this, and this. If I can't unsee it, you can't unsee it. I said, no, thank you. I'm good. And after I said to the doctor, I told you so, he said, no, you didn't. And proceeded to tell me about the 2.3 millimeter by 1.7 something, a mass on my thyroid. So not only did I inherit my mother's bad attitude, but possibly her thyroid problems. And he immediately orders a biopsy. Definitely not on my bucket list. And in your throat. Then they call me up and say the radiologist really isn't very confident with his diagnosis from the ultrasound of this garbage over here, so when I come in for needled in my throat, you're awake when this happens, that they want to do a CT. Great. So we haul ass over to their office, get injected with some iodine, which of course makes you feel like you're peeing yourself. Good times. Do a quick CT, zoom me over to the biopsy room. That was the easiest test I've ever done in my life. We'll take a biopsy over a pap smear any day of the week. If any of you ever have to have this done, I'm telling you, it was a breeze. Although I did feel the needle for the local anesthetic. Not pleasant, but tolerable. So if you ever have to do this, don't be afraid of it. It's all psychological. It was a breeze. 3 days later, we finally find out I'm in the clear. No cancer. Yay. And yes, this is a stone. 2 stones in my gland. Freaking disgusting. So that has been what has occupied my time for the last 2 weeks. Whew. Everything is good. And I'm pretty sure Caleb and Sophia have missed me so much. Jehovah knows I've missed them. So let's escape the longest intro ever and jump into another Caleb and Sophia review.
Let's do it.
do, let's learn how Jehovah will help you be bold. I already have a feeling I know where this is going. So they immediately open with one of Jehovah's creations that was created to retreat when frightened. Why doesn't Jehovah help the turtles be bold? I call BS, and you knew I would. I'm not sure how old Caleb and Sophia are supposed to be. I'm assuming that Sophia, let's say she's 9. She could be 10. She could be 13. I don't think she's 13. 12? In any case, I'm going to say higher than 4th grade. When you're a Jehovah's Witness kid, you will openly talk about Jehovah in kindergarten and in the 1st grade. By the 3rd year in 2nd grade, you've kind of grown to recognize the pattern of responses that your classmates give you. And while no one may say it, you're kind of the weird kid. By 3rd grade, you're embarrassed when your parents go to your class ahead of time. And if you are not a former Jehovah's Witness, they go to your class ahead of time and talk to your teacher and tell them, "My child, we are one of Jehovah's Witnesses. We are a family of Jehovah's Witnesses. And my child cannot participate in this, or this." But, you accept that it's part of life because we have the truth. By the 4th grade, you're hoping nobody finds out. So don't tell me that Sophia is looking longingly at this JW propaganda and going, "Oh, I really want to take this to school." I'll give them this. They're hitting the nail on the head when they're drawing this picture of what it feels like to be a Jehovah's Witness kid. That look is absolute dread. Now they're going to play it off that she's dreading taking the book to school because she so wants to take the book to school. Any of us who have been there know that's not the case. No. There's a lot of things you might sneak into school, and I'm telling you, my book of Bible stories, or whatever she's reading, isn't one of them. No, she does not want to openly read that book on the bus. This is not the way it happens. And they're trying to teach kids that good little Jehovah's Witnesses want to bring the literature to school. They want to read it in their free time. And if you don't feel this way, there's something wrong with you.
Hey, Sophia, what you reading? Hey! Hey, give me my hat back. Come on, give me back. It's mine.
Yeah. I remember that shame. This is absolute hogwash and a brilliant form of brainwashing. They are teaching children how to feel. You should want to bring the literature to school. You will feel ashamed and embarrassed if people find out because you're the weird kid. But that you're not alone. Take your literature. Look what Sophia's doing. She took it to school. And a good Jehovah's Witness kid would feel compelled to bring literature to school. And let me guess, she spent all day longing to read that book. Yeah. By the way, clearly a worldly kid. You check out the cool haircut. Worldly kid. Really? Yes. Yes, Sophia, you and Tupac. All eyes on you. Okay. So this is the way they are already pre-planting in the kids' heads. People will look at you differently. Everybody's going to be looking at you suspiciously, but that it's completely normal. It's normal for you to have this desire as a good Jehovah's Witness to openly read our publications. And this is part of the beginning of the persecution complex. People will look at you as if there's something wrong with you. Real quick, I gotta pause and get something to eat. I have to multitask tonight. So I'm having leftovers from 4th of July. I hope you guys had an awesome 4th of July. I did. They're really portraying this to be the most tragic thing she's ever experienced in her life. They've got the rain coming down on the window, the gloominess. They really want to hit home how guilty you should feel for not reading those publications at school.
I feel so bad for Zoe. Her grandma died.
Wait, that kid was a girl? Okay.
I wanted to tell her about Jehovah, but I got scared.
So again, you see early on that kids are taught, no matter what the circumstances are, you've got to get in that Jehovah. You've got to get that conversation going on. If someone's feeling bad, tell them about Jehovah. If someone's feeling left out, tell them about Jehovah. And if someone in your class just lost a family member, what's wrong with you? Why didn't you tell them about Jehovah?
I wish I was more brave.
Sophia, you can be brave. Tell you what, let's work on a little project together. There's a little girl I want you to meet. She needed boldness too.
Hey, she looks like me.
She's very much like you.
In what way?
What's her name?
Well, the Bible doesn't say.
She's in the Bible?
Yes,
Why is she scared?
she's in a strange place, far from home, surrounded by people who don't worship Jehovah. She was taken from her family.
So you see, Sophia, this is an example of an actual tragedy. A child who was kidnapped and sold into slavery, and we're going to compare your piddly situation to her horrific circumstances. Believe it or not, this does two things for the kid. A, it reiterates the persecution complex. It keeps pounding into her head that in all of history, people don't like Jehovah's Witnesses. So that's okay. What you're experiencing is normal for a good Jehovah's Witness. And B, it kind of layers on the guilt of, they're going to tell this story about how this little girl overcame all of her circumstances, and if she can do all of that, then surely you can talk to kids at school about Jehovah. Pretty clever.
And forced to work in the home of a mighty warrior called Naaman.
Did she say forced to work at Bethel for the mighty Toady Morris?
And forced to work in the home of a mighty warrior called Naaman.
My bad.
Life as a slave was very hard, especially for a little girl.
But don't worry, sweetie. You too can work for free.
The warrior was a mighty man and fearless. He had defeated many enemies in battle. But now he was sick. His illness was like an enemy he could not defeat. No one in the land knew how to help him.
I really don't remember this story of a nameless girl. But I'm going to take a wild guess that she's going to lead him to Jehovah and his mysterious illness is going to go away. Or when he dies, he leaves her everything. What story is this? Let me know.
What are you staring at? Get back to work.
Sounds just like Sophia's mom.
The master's so sick.
There's no hope left in him. None of the gods have cured his illness.
Jehovah can.
What did you say?
I said Jehovah.
Never say that name here.
I'm sorry.
Don't you know where you are? We don't worship your God of Israel. These are our gods.
You worship Etsy jewelry?
But I was just...
You must learn to keep silent.
No! Your father is sick.
Jesus. I just realized this is 11 minutes long. Sorry, guys.
Mommy, please!
Sorry.
I know what can help.
What?
Never say that name here.
You must keep silent.
Can I get you some more food?
You pussy.
Jehovah, I'm scared. I miss my mom and dad. Mom told me I could always call on you for help, but nobody here wants me to talk about you. Jehovah, I know you can help Naaman. Please make him better so he could play with his kids.
Please help my slave master so he can play with his kids. What a selfless little Israelite girl.
Never say that name here.
You must learn to keep silent.
I know who can help your husband.
Who?
Jehovah, the God of Israel, my God. His prophet can heal your husband. He must go to him.
All right, small technical problem here I discovered during editing. Apparently, I've lost some footage. Let's be honest. We all know how this story goes. Let me sum it up for you. The master's wife tells the master that there's a prophet that can cure him. The little nameless girl thanks Jehovah. The master immediately disembarks to find said prophet. A clumsy fellow slave delivers the good news that...
The master has returned!
And then lo and behold, it's a Christmas miracle. And they all lived happily ever after. Even the slave girl?
Now I know there is no other God anywhere, only Jehovah. Thank you, little one. Thank you for telling me about him.
And I'm going to return you to your family. That didn't happen.
She didn't know what was going to happen after she spoke up. But she knew no matter what happened, Jehovah would be with her. And Jehovah will be with you too, Sophia.
Yeah, and Jehovah never lets bad things happen to those he loves.
I'll never be as brave as her.
Of course you will, Sophia. You just need a little practice. And then you will be bold too. Do you remember what we're doing tonight?
Book study? Meeting? Family study? Or what they call it something else now. I don't know, but it's going to have something to do with studying.
Family worship?
Family worship. That's what they call it now.
Maybe tonight we can make a pretend classroom in the kitchen. I can be Zoe. And Dad and Caleb can be the other kids.
So, non-Jehovah's Witness kids are mean and, well, what do you think they're trying to indicate by this face?
You can practice being bold with us. And then tomorrow, you'll be all set for Zoe.
I just hate this. I hate how misleading it is. I hate the message that it sends to kids. And it really teaches them to become dependent. You know, that they can't find strength within themselves when something, goes wrong. They can't problem solve on their own. And there's very little that they can overcome without Jehovah. I've said it before, I repeat myself again. This sets up Jehovah's Witness kids for down the road. They become so dependent on Jehovah puppeting them that they do not know how to make decisions or think for themselves when, God forbid, critical thinking skills are necessary. And worse, when something doesn't go correctly or they don't get up the strength, it's usually because they didn't pray hard enough or are not a very good Jehovah's Witness. So they get burdened more and more and more. And that cycles back into the guilt that they started with.
I thought I couldn't be brave, but I learned from the little Hebrew girl.
It is a girl. I stand corrected.
She was just like me. And Jehovah helped her be brave. I'm sorry about your grandma. This is for you. It will help you feel better. Thank you.
And the all-important message, when people are down, that's your in. They teach them at a very, very young age. When someone is down and out, that is your opportunity to get them in. When someone's sad, when someone has a death, when someone is ill, that is your opportunity to reel them into the cult. If Sophia liked this girl so much, why didn't she tell her about Jehovah before? Why did she have to wait until that crucial moment when that person is feeling at their worst? Because that is what they're trained to do, even at this age.
See ya. Bye.
Mom, the weird girl at school gave me this creepy book. Did you know that's how it actually went?
Hey, Timmy. Want to see what I was reading on the bus? Sure.
Ugh! No! My God, she is a pioneer in the making. Can I get an amen that this is bullshit?
This book teaches about Jehovah. Jehovah? Yeah, that's God's name. It tells us about a happy future for the earth. Plus, there's a bunch of pictures in here to help you learn about him. Wow, pretty cool. Thank you. Bye. I want to tell people at school about Jehovah. If I'm ever afraid, I know he'll help me. Because he's my friend.
I can't. But I will show you this I stumbled across. Right before this video, they had a video of the making of Caleb and Sophia videos, which I'm not going to bore you with. This is bad enough. And the main message they were trying to get across is this.
And it helps them to become his friend.
Thank you, Jehovah, for the video. 谢谢耶和华. Thank you, Jehovah, for Caleb. I want to be Jehovah's friend too, just like them. Do you?
Yeah. Nobody can see how brainwashy that is. I hate when I see little kids, thank you, Jehovah. I just flash back seriously to when I was a kid and how much my mother absolutely loved. It's not good, guys. I'm telling you. It's cringy brainwashy. It's cringe-washy. Alright, that's all I got for you today. Lucky you, it's only one video. As I mentioned last week, we're going to get our hands on the Young People Ask book and start reviewing that. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who was able to show up to my first live stream. I had a blast. It was an amazing time. I definitely want to do another one. So let's meet up July 17th at 6 p.m. my time, Mountain Daylight Time. And we'll just hang out and chat some more. Beyond that, I'm looking forward to possibly doing a collaboration with Sister Fister and chatting with Apostate Babe, Linda James, for a possible interview or some sort of project that we can do together. You have to remember, us females are technically challenged. We weren't allowed to do the big boy jobs as Jehovah's Witness girls. So give me a day to figure it out. And until then, I'll see you next time.